pipe eventually gets to the magic school staff room, where the transformed archmage is being held captive. Unfortunately, I'm about 10 times too big to fit through the pipe. Without Gulliver, Esther and Nate, everything down here looks even more desolate. The three of them took everything really important up with them. And Ethel still has a watchful eye on the rest. Probably best if I leave everything as it is. It's good to know that Ivo's up there doing her best. To be honest, she was the one who saved mine and Nate's butts when we were stuck in the wildlands. The basket will let Ivo and I exchange stuff. Very handy if one of us gets stuck at some point. A small mirror made out of some strange material. It's really smooth, like wood, but it feels different. It's good to know that Ivo's up there doing it. To be honest, Ivo?
What?
Not that I'm not overjoyed to see you, but what are you doing in Seastone?
I need to talk to Archmage Alistair. There's a little, problem.
Unless it's about catching flies with your tongue, he's not going to be any help to you at the moment.
Well, the problem can wait. I hope.
Monkus has completely disappeared since the fight in the staff room. Do you think he's still in town?
Yes, I fear so. Like flies to Arbor's pot, dark sorcerers are attracted to power. A little girl with seemingly unlimited magic. He'll try anything to exploit that.
And he can transform himself into anyone. Be careful about whom you trust up there.
Who says he's up here? He could be down there with you. We must both keep our eyes peeled.
Remy said that much of the city's been transformed. Is it really that bad?
Some buildings have been badly affected, but nothing that couldn't be fixed with a few flaming torches. What's worse is that some people have also been transformed, and no one dares to say what they think anymore.
That is terrible.
Van Buren's intoxicated by power, worse than Joffrey. She's insane, she's going to ruin our world, and she has the means to do it.
Luckily you're here, Ivo. We'll stop them.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Where's the council leader? Whatever you do, don't let her catch you.
It's okay. She's on her way to the Elf Burrow. She wants to pay my mother a visit.
Doesn't that worry you?
Nah, she'll get nowhere in the Elf Burrow. Elf protective magic is powerful.
So it's just a question of how long it takes Van Buren to figure that out.
She'll be furious. It's best we're no longer here by the time she gets back.
For my search for Remy, I need something I can use to light an entire cave.
I'll keep my eyes peeled.
Thanks. I have to get going. Don't get caught.
Good luck. Keep your ears stiff.
The basket will let Ivo and I exchange stuff. Very handy if one...
A basket tied to the rope means I can pull Wilbur's things up and have a safe way of getting stuff down to him. And as soon as he's got Remy, I'll be able to pull both of them up. I don't know what I'd talk to Wilbur about right now. And quite honestly, I'd rather only stick my head down there when absolutely necessary. I get the impression they would go through thick and thin together. They simply belong together. I'm really envious of that. I get the impression I'm really you two.
Oh, hello.
I've not had the pleasure of making your acquaintance yet. My name's Ivo. Welcome to Seastone.
My name is Gulliver. This is my enchanting lotus blossom, Esther. Our son down there with the ogre is called Nate.
Nate?
Nate, yes. Named after a true hero and good friend. It was down to him that Esther and I got together back then in the Wildlands.
About Nate. You haven't seen him recently, have you?
Unfortunately not. We would have loved to have had him at our wedding, but he suddenly disappeared.
I'm sure he's out there in the big wide world, helping other lovers find the happiness they deserve.
But he left his love behind in the process.
Do you know him?
That deceitful hypocrite who disappeared in the middle of the night with no explanation and leaving me standing there like an idiot of a pirate? No, I don't know him. Not anymore. It's not safe for you here in Seastone. Not for anyone.
I know, but where else can we go? Zombies and the undead aren't really welcome anywhere.
People think that we eat their brains. But to be honest, they really don't taste of anything.
Ew. Well, perhaps you'd be better off in the Wildlands. There are loads of people like you there.
Why do we have to go? Just because other people have a problem with us? That's not fair.
Wilbur talked about the machine that you built together. Maybe you can bring it up here and build slates for yourself when everything's returned to normal.
I don't think so. Only Bill knows where to get the intelligent stone. And he'd claim I've stolen his idea. He can afford ghouls. Worse, lawyers. Anyway, where am I going to get the gold? Who would even lend me a copper piece?
Don't give up, sunshine. Small setbacks are a part of death.
Esther's right. Those who fight may lose, but those who don't fight have lost already.
Says the young, pretty and rich elf princess.
I've got to go now. Bye, you two.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll let them have some time on their own. They've got to make a decision about where they're going to spend their life together. Not an easy decision. This is Nate. His name isn't his fault. I'll try to be nice to him. Hello, Nate. Are you interested in these toys then?
He says, finally I know where all the rubbish comes from.
You can understand him.
It's quite obvious what he thinks of this junk. I think he says one could also build something useful out of all this. He's an inventor.
A two-headed ogre. Rather rare and pretty complicated, anatomically speaking. Good evening, gentlemen.
Mademoiselle.
Fat elf!
My name is Ivo, and you are...
Not Princess Ivo from the Woodland Realm.
Yep, that's me.
It's an honor, Your Highness. Although, considering the current situation, perhaps you shouldn't tell everyone who you are.
I still don't know your name, kind sir.
Oh, excuse me, Your Serene Highness.
Please, call me Ivo.
My name is Zloff. That's my brother, Blout.
Blout!
Perhaps you could explain to me what's happened here. You're a mage, right, Zloff?
Mage? Me? No.
Why Sloth always say that? Sloth is mage.
Not after what happened to the other mages in this town.
What's happened?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. But I've definitely given up magic and therefore I am no longer a mage.
Nice shop, but a bit unusual.
Candy floss, puppies, chocolate, baby dolls.
It's dreadful. We had such a lovely inn. Subdued lighting, smoky air, and lots of alcohol. And now...
Lollies! New inn! Lollies!
A whole building has been transformed permanently. A little girl shouldn't have the power to do that. How does she do it?
I, don't know what you mean.
Are you expiring?
You what?
Blout should tell council leader if people expire.
You're spying for the council leader?
Blout's afraid the merchant council leader's daughter might turn him into a little girl with pigtails if he doesn't cooperate with her mother.
We shouldn't give away that daughter does magic. You're expiring.
No, Blout, we're not.
Then that's okay. Sloth,
Yes, Blout.
what is expiring?
A friend of mine who's active in the non-existent resistance has to somehow illuminate a big cave.
I'm no longer a mage and have nothing to do with the resistance. And because I'm no longer a mage, I don't need my magical equipment anymore. Like, for example, this clicker, which can capture starlight.
Good job that you aren't a mage anymore. Now I can give this thing to my friend, who's not on a wanted list and who's also not in the resistance, which also doesn't even exist.
Why talk so strange? Something not right here.
You're much too suspicious, dear Blout.
Blout, I don't think you should spy for Van Buren. She's bad news. Surely you can see that?
Blout not want to spy, but Blout not want to be changed into bunny rabbit.
I was all for fleeing, but Blout wanted to stay and hide.
Quite difficult, given your size.
Blout bought disguise. No one recognised Blout.
Maybe not, but what about me?
Have you still got the disguise you were going to use to hide from the council leader?
Still got.
Would you give it to me?
You want hide from council lady? You conceiving?
No, I just want to secure the disguise and hand it in at the school.
Otherwise, the rebels could get hold of the disguise, Blout. Do you want to be responsible for a rebel disguising themselves with your outfit?
No! Blout good little boy. Here, take.
Thanks for the chat.
You were like a beacon of light in the darkness of night, Princess.
I don't know what there is to talk about at the moment. I'm an elf and don't feel the heat and cold as much as you. Otherwise, elf girls' clothing would be extremely impractical. I'll let them have some. They've got to make. If I do my job right, then soon I'm going to be an enemy of the state. And looking at this regime, I'd regard that as an honour. Presumably all these goods were delivered, or at least ordered, before Van Buren assumed power. I can't imagine any sane airship captain would dream of flying into Seastone right now. Someone once wanted to sell me a license for an apple. They didn't want the apple to belong to me, just the right to eat it. I'm pretty sure that wouldn't have ended well had I agreed to that. It all seems quiet and peaceful looking into the starlit sky. However, there are unbelievable powers and great tragedies occurring up there. We just don't look carefully enough. As a child, I lay on my back next to my father in the elf burrow for nights on end, observing the stars. He told me of strange worlds, and sometimes when the night sky was particularly clear, I believed that I could recognize the star turtle with my naked eyes. From up there, our problems must appear so small, all good, all evil in this world. Every elf, human, dwarf or gnome, all lovers, every idea, each work of art, everything that's ever been built. All this exists at one tiny little moment, surrounded by darkness. And yet, it's still worth fighting for, because our moment will only happen once. From up there, our problems must appear so all good, all evil, all this, and yet... Wilbur wrote very excitedly to me that he, of all people, had been appointed as the first professor to the school by the Archmage. I think he was very proud, but also a bit intimidated because of his colleagues and the students. Those are the kind of worries that we'd be grateful for right now. The Mage Tower in Seastone is notorious. It's been said it has a mind of its own. It confuses people. It's said that visitors the town didn't like never emerged again after venturing inside. A lotto ball. Blank. Doesn't look like this has ever been used. When the cat's away, the mice will play. Let's go in. What the... You could have hit me.
Whatever. No one's allowed to enter the school as long as the council leader's away.
Council Leader Van Buren has asked me to get something from her office for her.
She didn't tell me. She only told me to knock the head off anyone who tries to get in here while she's away.
Oh, presumably she forgot to mention it. She'll be very angry if I don't bring her what she requested.
Angry with you, not with me.
Oh, somebody's really on the ball here. I'm really decisive. Well done.
Yeah, no problem for a professional like me.
Oh, I'll mention that in my report.
What report?
Oh, I'm not really permitted to tell you, but let's just say a positive evaluation should give your career a boost.
But I'm exactly where I want to be.
Really?
Sure, otherwise I wouldn't be here.
You really must have a ball every day harassing people.
A smart guy like me can really make good in this world.
But you're destined for greater things. Go out there and prove it.
I could, but I don't want to. Let everyone else bumble around if they want to. They always come crawling back asking for help at some point. And I just say, deal with your own shit, you bumblers.
Oh, what a delightful conversation.
Well, it's no surprise you liked it. Conversations with the one and only Grumder Klimpus are always a laugh. It was rather disappointing for me. But you did your best.
His general appearance is not exactly pleasant, and his most defining feature is his melodious stink.
Think you're something special because you know all these long words, eh? Pathetic.
He's not particularly quick, physically nor mentally.
It's all. Learn English.
He's not particularly quick, physically nor mentally.
It's...
I've got to get into the staff room, so that's where I'm going.
Of course you are. and I'm going to give you a taste of my axe.
You wouldn't hit me.
Despite the fat belly and skinny legs.
Will you please let me into the staff room?
Listening's an art. N-O. No!
Will you please?
Listen.
I can't risk starting a fight with the troll. Yeah, I could get past him, but he might follow me and wake up half the town in the process. Annoyingly, I can't trick him either. He's just too stupid for that. A key to the upper town's gate. I hope he doesn't get into trouble because of it. Zloff called this thing a clicker. Apparently one can use it to capture starlight. I know some fluorescing plants that collect sunlight during the day and then give it out at night. Perhaps it's something like that. If you're surrounded by enemies, a professional disguise can make all the difference.
Wilbur?
Yes?
There's a fully grown troll with an axe in the entrance hall of the school, and he won't let me into the staff room. Is there another way into the school? Fireplace. I'm sure there isn't a fireplace in there. Presumably it's now a doll's house or something. Worth a try. Just missing the powder now. Which brings us back to the start of our problem. That's all for now. Wilbur? I think I might have the solution to your light issue. Zloff has just given me something that he calls a clicker. If I've understood him correctly, you can use it to capture starlight and then let it go somewhere else. No, not yet. I'll come back when I've got some.
Right then, capture starlight. That is beautiful. If I'm not very much mistaken, there are a good few dozen stars, or at least a bit of their light in this thing.
Wilbur?
Yes?
I've captured a bit of starlight for you. That should make your light problems a thing of the past.
Really? Wow!
I'm going to send the clicker down in the basket. You must wait until you're in the dark cave before you set the starlight free.
Got it! The basket will let Ivo and I exchange stuff. Very... I'll find Remy. Timmy's been through enough already. Wow!
Oh, that's bright.
I can see.
By God, you've got old.
You're only statues.
We are gods trapped in statues. That, by the way, is a very exciting story.
Could someone help me up? Thank you.
Hey, all this light reminds me of a joke. Two trolls look up into the night sky. One asks the other, "What do you think? Is there life on the moon?" And the other replies, "Well, of course! There's a light on, isn't there?"
Maybe you could just lie him face down in the sand.
Were the statues of the gods made by human hand? Or did they make themselves? So you're gods in statues? Did someone imprison you?
And so it came to pass that the young hero encountered the epic story, which,
The statues depict us. They are our last refuge.
I always thought gods lived somewhere up in the sky in really stylish cloud palaces.
I have lived in many temples, all of which were dedicated to me. The faithful met in them, discussing and answering the most difficult of questions. And they all paid homage to me, the god of riddles.
And then you were forgotten and ate sand for a few centuries.
that one calls himself Jerry, the god of bad jokes.
The god of humor.
That is Avini, goddess of the arts, and I am
Hypnis, the chatterbox.
the god of good stories.
One picture speaks more than 1,000 words.
Hi.
Hello, my young friend.
The arts? Is that like when you make a face out of macaroni and glue it to some paper?
Art is everywhere. There is nothing in this world that isn't art. That's why I'm the most important goddess here.
The world consists of stories.
Now you both know the world would be terribly dull without a good laugh.
Every time a painter picks up his brush, a sculptor his chisel, or a bard his lute, they are singing my praises.
The painters and sculptors sing too.
Leave it, gnome. She's not so good with words.
I still don't understand why you're here and not somewhere beautiful instead. I mean, you're gods. Can't you do whatever you want?
Of course we can. Well, theoretically.
In reality, though, no one has believed in us for a long while. Do you know how gods are created, young man?
I thought all of the gods had always been there.
Nah.
We get our power by people believing in us. It can be a great power. A power that can move mountains and flare up conflict.
But if no one believes in you anymore, nothing remains.
Our temples were destroyed centuries ago or rededicated to other more bloodthirsty gods. These 4 statues are all that remain. If they disappear, we, like our religion, will cease to exist.
I have to go.
Go forth and create something.
I don't really know what to ask her. Yoo-hoo!
Oh, young friend, would you like to hear a joke?
The god of humor! Wow! Sounds like you'd have a lot to laugh about.
Oh, of course! It'd be a sorry state of affairs if I didn't.
It is really bad if one constantly has to hear the same joke told time and time and time again.
Oh, you just haven't got a sense of humour. Listen, one politician says to the other, I don't know why no one likes us. We don't do anything. or do you know the one?
Yes, we know it.
Party poopers.
I have to go. If I address him, he might tell me a joke. I don't want to risk it. Good day.
Do you wish me a good day? Or mean that it is a good day whether I want it or not? Or that you feel good this day? Or that it is a day to be good on?
If you're the god of puzzles, I have a serious bone to pick with you.
Why?
Why does everything have to be so complicated? An unlocked chest? Someone who just helps? For free? Is that too much to ask for?
Nothing worth having in this world simply falls into your lap.
Yes, but chess puzzles to open doors? Complicated machines in submerged temples, machines that must have been completely pointless when the temples were still in operation.
I agree. This is all just a distraction from the story.
I don't know what the problem is. Doing a little dance to create a flash of lightning? That's brilliant.
I have to go.
Go out into the world with open eyes. It is full of riddles.
Sure, there are lots of puzzles to solve. But he's more likely to throw new questions at me than help me answer old ones. Hello?
Said the young hero, and then asked the decisive question.
I've always liked stories, especially the story of the knight Ni as he rode out to slay the evil dragon.
Yes, one of my finest.
You wrote the knight Ni story?
I wrote all stories, so to speak. Boy falls in love with girl, hooker with a heart, happy ending, all my inventions. Everything since is just variations on a theme, really.
Wow.
I also invented the words and, wide, and jam, as well as the letters E, Q, and L. Oh, and the Oxford comma. The last has, however, not been accepted by the majority.
I have to go.
He said, and went out into the world. A short while later, he said,
Is this also a goddess?
No, that is an Amazon. They guarded our temples.
Didn't do a particularly good job of it, did they? This lake looks weird. The water is so dark and somehow wrong.
Oh, it's real water.
That I could just swim to the island.
Oh, I wouldn't try that if I were you.
And if I build a raft and get myself a small rowing boat?
No boat can cross this lake, spoke the mighty voice of the highest of the gods. We can only explain to you how to get over the lake.
Maybe the lake is cursed. I can feel something evil, and a chilling cold emanating from the water. The gods must know how to cross a lake like this.
Yes, we do.
Maybe the lake is...
Yes.
An island in the lake with the ruins of the creepiest temple I've ever seen. An island... That's Remy's shrinking ring. That means he was here. Remy! Hello?
Said the young hero.
I think my friend Remy's on the island over there. How can I cross to it?
Now, it's quite simple.
No, it isn't. First he's got to answer some riddles.
Oh, we've already done with the light. Can't we simply get on with the story now?
Previously, people honored us, gave us offerings, erected temples.
I can't build you a temple.
No, but you can honor us, so that we will bestow our favor upon you.
You are, awesome.
How pitiful.
You must give each of us an offering, or fulfill for each of us one wish. Or something like that.
Yes, and only when you've won over 3 of us will we reveal how you can cross the dark water safely.
People, gods, whatever you are, this isn't a game. Remy may be in danger.
When he is in the Temple of the Nameless One? For sure.
Another reason for you to hurry. Chop chop, mortal. Win our favor.
You said that the temple on the island was for the Nameless One.
That's right. Hundreds of years ago, the Nameless One grew ever more mighty, winning over an increasing amount of followers. Of course, the priests of the other gods were very unhappy about this, so they forbade the name of this god to be spoken, his symbols to be worn, or for prayers to be said to him. Those who were versed in the dark arts and wanted to use the god's power for their own purposes built this temple deep under the town. They performed forbidden rituals there and increased the might of the god. In return, he gave them untold power.
That doesn't sound good.
It wasn't. At some point or other, they were discovered and the temple destroyed. Shortly thereafter, the Nameless One was banished, and for centuries, all was peaceful on the island.
And then what happened to the temple? What happened next?
A few years ago, men appeared. They visited the temple and held rituals there, rituals we had not witnessed for centuries. Dark mages who had delved too deeply into old books and found the whereabouts of the temple. They built a machine, the purpose of which we can only speculate over.
Maybe they wanted to bring the Nameless One back to this world.
If that was their aim, they didn't succeed. The island lapsed back into peaceful darkness. I suspect the mages had been killed.
Ah, then my wand might have belonged to one of the dark mages.
I don't know anything about magic wands. I just know that for several years the temple has been inhabited by a ghost which never leaves.
And Remy's just gone there.
That reminds me of an old story. Shortly before the first amphibians...
Sorry, I just don't have time for long stories at the moment.
Of course. But just run along then. Check out the neighborhood for stuff and try to make sense of it all.
What do you want me to do?
Nothing. My vote would be to get the story moving again.
We agreed that he has to complete a task for each of us.
But you don't know what happens on the island. It will be very exciting and very emotional. Oscar-worthy.
What's happening on the island?
Down here, riddles must be solved if you want to get any further, just like in the good old days.
Okay then. A task. Tell me a story.
That's hardly a suitable task.
Storytelling is not easy. It has to be a creative, exciting story that meets my exacting standards. Come on, gnome. Think up a story to knock us off our feet.
There's this young farmer on a planet with 2 sons. Then he realizes he has superpowers after being bitten by a spider.
Aha! Gripping storyline, exciting characters. The first act is complete. What are the further developments and climax going to be?
Yes! Well then, next, his father dies. He becomes head of the family and takes bloody revenge. Later... He and Jenny see each other in the middle of the water.
And then the twist.
Well, he is Kaiser Soze.
Ah, very original.
Kaiser who?
You've got my support, my young friend.
So, 1 got down, 2 to go. Hi.
Hello, my young friend.
And what do I have to do to gain your favour?
Well, you don't appear to have a cup of wine on you. Can you dance?
Of course.
Okay, my first request, don't. And don't ever think about dancing again. Painting, sculpture, music. How do you fare in these arts?
To be honest, I'm a cracking dancer, but I'm rubbish at everything else.
Then best leave art to the professionals, like myself. I would love to sing again, but I really can't remember what the notes sound like. Bring me a tuning fork or something of that kind. When I hear the notes, I'm sure it would all come flooding back to me.
What exactly did you want so I can cross the lake?
I would love to sing again. I haven't had...
Something to make sounds. Got it. I have to go.
Go forth and create something.
Yoo-hoo.
Oh, young friend, would you like to hear a joke?
As you're in such a good mood, you'll help me get to the island, right?
Oh, comedians always have a dark side. It's not easy making everyone else laugh.
And what do you know about that?
I am the god of humor. I invented badumtus.
Yes, only so that people will know when they have to laugh.
Oh, yeah? 2 cannibals are eating a clown. One says to the other, he tastes a bit funny. Eh? Eh?
Ha! Ha 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 ha, that was new.
You see? It's a tough business making people roll in the aisles. You lot just don't realize that because you've never tried it yourself. Hey, that's it! That's the task I'll set you, mortal! Make me laugh!
You want me to tell you a joke?
One that's so funny, it makes my stomach ache with laughter. Oh, it'll have to be a right royal rib tickler.
I don't think I know any jokes.
Oh, come on, everyone knows a joke. Most aren't of a standard high enough to make a god laugh, of course. But anyway, ask around and try your luck.
I have to go. Good day.
Do you wish me a good day? Or mean that it is a good day whether I want it or not? Or that you feel good this day? Or that it is a day to be good on?
I guess the only way to gain your favour is by performing a strange set of tasks.
No tasks. Riddles. That's all that matters to me. If you ask me a question I can't answer, you win my favour.
That sounds familiar.
My first riddle for you goes like this. What has roots nobody can see, towers beyond the tallest tree, never grows to get this high, but reaches up towards the sky?
Tower.
No. Wrong, unfortunately.
Does that mean I lost?
Well, that would be a bit unfair, don't you think? You are playing against the god of riddles, after all. You can give it another go anytime.
Could you repeat? Roots that nobody sees, higher than a tree, but never growing. A mountain. Could be a mountain.
It is a mountain. Well done. Now it's your turn. Ask me a question. If I can't answer it, you have won my favor.
What is the answer to the question of life, the universe, and everything?
41.5.
Are you absolutely sure?
Of course, I am the god of riddles. I am absolutely all-knowing. Others may get their sums wrong, not I.
But...
My turn. 30 white horses on a red hill. First they champ, then they stamp, then they stand still.
White and red. That's a toadstool.
Guessing is just as bad as trying to use everything in your inventory with everything you find.
What are you talking about?
That's way beyond your intellectual capacity, and that's why you've lost yet again.
Could you repeat? 30. White on a red hill. Teeth? Teeth!
Well, I never. That's correct. Clever little fellow. Your turn.
What is the sound of a falling tree felled with a herring while no one was listening?
Spalakaka.
I don't think that's correct.
Of course, I am the god of riddles. I'm absolutely all-knowing.
But...
My turn. Voiceless it cries, wingless flutters, toothless bites, mouthless mutters.
Screaming, flying, biting, muttering and whistling? That's obvious. The wind.
Oh, all right, yes. But that was easy. Your turn. Do your worst.
What have I got in my pockets, Sis?
Some bits of fluff and a ring. A shrinking ring, to be precise. A mirror. A magical device that some people call a clicker. And no, that's all.
Wow, impressive.
Yep. Yes, god of riddles, all-knowing and almighty. Nice to meet you. My turn. Something that consumes us all, from the mighty to the small, eats into iron and grinds down stone, dulls every sword, breaks every throne, defeats kings, turns their castles to dust, waits for no man, for pass it must.
You mean time, right? Nothing can hide from it, neither trees, nor birds, nor kings.
Not even the gods. Everything has its time, and all things must pass. Correct answer. Your turn.
If you're all-knowing and all-powerful, can you think of a question that is so difficult that even you can't answer it?
Of course. I can do anything.
But if you're all-knowing, you would know the answer to every question.
Of course I know.
Here's the deal. You give me your favor, and we'll just drop the troublesome topic of omniscience completely.
With that, the actual task which I set, without your knowledge, has been mastered. You have won my favor, pedantic mortal.
And that's 2 gods in the bag. Timmy,
Yeah?
there's a dark lake down there with an island in the middle with a ruined temple on it. I'm pretty sure that's where your uncle is.
Haven't you had a look yet?
I don't know how to get across the lake. That water looks suspicious, and the statues of the gods say no boat or raft can cross the lake.
How did Uncle Remy get to the island then?
I guess he knows the secret of how to cross the lake safely. So don't worry, I'll figure it out.
He never puts that down.
It was on the edge of a suspicious-looking lake.
Oh, perhaps he wanted you to have it.
I don't think so. He couldn't have known that I would follow him.
Of course he knew that. You wouldn't leave a friend in need. Everyone knows that except you.
Do you know any good jokes, Timmy?
Is this really an appropriate time for jokes?
I need a good joke to get your uncle out of the temple. It's a long story.
I've kinda got one. What do us rats like playing most? Hide and squeak.
Not bad.
Well, it's not funny, because it's true.
I've got to get back.
You can do it.
I'll find Remy. Hi, Ethel.
Ooh, you always have this habit of creeping up on me.
I found Remy's ring. It was lying down there on the shore of a dark lake.
Oh, he never leaves that ring lying around anywhere. He's always saying that magic rings aren't a toy. You have to bring Monsieur de Dumont back to me. Us, in one piece, Wilbur.
I'll do my best. Don't ask why, but you have to tell me a good joke.
Two hydrocarbons meet. One says, hi. The other answers, ah, go away, you're substituted.
Come on, tell me a joke.
That, was one. Old alchemist joke.
I don't get it.
If you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the condensate.
No need to insult me. I'm dead serious. I need a joke.
Your mother is so ugly, not even fluorine would combine with her.
Now you're even insulting my mother. I just want you to tell me a joke.
Oh, something like, so this cannibal cook says to the captive, can you please whistle when the water boils?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know any jokes like that.
Oh well, then I'll use the one with the carbon thingy. I have to be going, Ethel.
If you need stew, you know where to find me.
Ivo?
What?
Did you know that there's a temple under the city? It's dedicated to an evil deity called the Nameless One. Well, that's not really his name, of course. He has a name, and it isn't the Nameless One, but...
I know the legends, but what sort of temple are you talking about?
There were people who worshipped the Nameless One. They built a temple using a machine. Maybe they wanted to bring him back to this world. I'm also pretty certain it's where Remy found the magic wand.
Oh, then you should take a closer look at the temple.
I'm working on it. I found Remy's shrinking ring. I can use it to get back to the school through the pipes.
Great, that should help us.
Do you know any good jokes, Ivo?
Are you kidding me?
Is that, are you kidding me, of course I know good jokes, or are you kidding me, how should I know any good jokes?
Are you pulling
Greg, why in the name of all the gods do you want me to tell you a joke?
Funny you should mention gods. They are involved. One in particular. Could you please just ask around? I need a really good joke, one that can make a stone statue of a god laugh.
Of course.
Thanks. I need something that makes sound, not just any, music. A tuning fork or something like that.
I'll see what I can find.
Thanks. The island is supposed to be guarded by a ghost. I find that disturbing.
Can't you cast a spell over it? You must know that.
I never looked into that. I always thought that was too scary.
Oh, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, do that. I have to get going. Don't get caught.
Good luck. Keep your ears stiff.
Hi, you two.
Oh, hello.
Don't ask me why, but Wilbur wants to learn a few good jokes. Do you know any?
But of course. After being examined, the patient asks, "Doctor, is there anything you can do for me?" To which the doctor replies, "Certainly, I'll prescribe you a couple of mud baths." "And they'll help?" "Of course," the doctor says, "it'll help you to get used to the feeling of being buried."
Oh, I still remember the damp earth. For a long time, I thought if only you'd let yourself be cremated.
Oh, okay, thanks. You haven't by any chance brought a musical instrument with you from down there? If I understood correctly, Wilbur wants to play scales on some sort of instrument.
Gets up to some strange things, that little gnome, doesn't he?
Yeah, but that's what he does best.
But it always seems to make sense in the end. Unfortunately, we can't help this time.
I bet you know all about ghosts, don't you?
I used to share a flat with some.
Do you happen to know how to cast a spell on a ghost?
No idea. But I do know that ghosts don't stick to cleaning rosters, and they don't use doors, and that could really give you a terrible shock.
I've got to go now. Bye, you two.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, Sloth. Blout.
Ah, Princess Ivo.
This might seem a little bit weird, but could you please tell me a joke?
Why weird? A joke can lift the spirits in times of great adversity.
No joke, no joke.
Oh, Blout, your jokes are always so lewd.
That's why good jokes. Two statues stand in park, face each other for hundreds of years. One be young man, other be young woman. Both is naked.
Here we go again.
Then God appear. He says, I grant you biggest wish. Both can leave plinth for 1 hour. Both disappear in bushes, rustling, whispering, giggling. Man pants, 10 minutes left. She reply, okay, now you hold pigeon and I sit on it.
Princess, really?
Oh, apologies.